It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? My name is Jake Scheidel. This is a podcast about reality television and friendship in which I ask my best friend, Thomas Powell, if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty swell, Jake.
Pretty swole, more like it.
Yeah, pretty swole.
Hell yeah. Working out for the holidays.
Yeah, just trying to get
that
that
holiday
Christmas
bod.
bod.
Everyone talks about summer bods. It's all about Christmas bod.
Yep.
Christmas bod 2K18. Well, that's good. Glad to hear you're big and buff like John Morrison, our good friend.
R.I.P. to a real one.
Honestly. It just reminds me of Enzo. And now I'm mad. Great. Took 42 seconds to talk about wrestlers we hate. But for the 42 seconds before that, we were talking about John Morrison, a good dude who was on this season of Survivor. We all like him.
He's a
Can't
good
wait
guy.
to see him again on Heroes vs. Villains 2. Definitely happened. Yeah, Jeff Probst emailed me and was like, "Hey Jake, good friend here, Jeff Probst. We're definitely doing Heroes vs. Villains 2 because of that one tweet you made."
Yeah,
So
appreciated it, and we think it's time.
it's been
Also, you're executive producer of the show now.
hell yes. Thomas, I gotta tell you, that's the whole reason we started this podcast, was so that I could be executive producer on Survivor. I never
Jeff
told you
was
that.
like, I may be executive producer on this show and host, but I want you to be my boss now.
I'll do it. I'll be executive producer only for that one season. Honestly, that would be good enough for me.
Jeff is going to regret that decision when every single reward challenge features him having to call someone his friend and show them the first 10 minutes of the first episode of Survivor.
When I am the executive producer, every reward will be 10-minute increments of the first season of Survivor. The first reward, you win with your tribe. You go to a weird bar with Jeff Probst, and you watch the first 10 minutes. And then, second reward, you watch the second 10 minutes, even if you didn't win the first reward.
Yep.
It's just like, let me catch you up, my friends. And the bartender's
Jeff
like...
actually won't tell them what happened.
Yeah. You get that. You've seen every episode of this show, right? So, Thomas, speaking of Survivor, I gotta ask you, did you watch Survivor David vs. Goliath last night?
Well, I may have.
Did you?
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, you telling me.
Nah, that ain't it.
What's the one way, then? Jesus.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well, that took a long time to get out of you.
Sure did.
Man. This episode was called Are You Feeling Lucky? How do you feel about that episode title?
Well, punk, do I ever?
Yeah. That was weird. It was also a weird choice, and we talk about this every time this happens, but it wasn't a quote from a contestant. It was something written on a piece of parchment someone found. That's not... I don't know. I don't like when they do that.
Not up to standards.
It's not organic, and I like organics. That's why I shop at Whole Foods. Shop at your local Whole Foods. They're everywhere. Probably.
Also, don't. They're owned by Amazon.
Yeah, I quit.
Whatever. Do what you want.
I quit Whole...
There is no ethical consumption under capitalism.
True. They sell a lot of good vegetarian food, and vegetarians are better than the rest of us.
It's true.
So in that case, Whole Foods is good.
That's what the new Daniel Bryan tells me.
I have a hard time cheering against Daniel Bryan because I'm like, yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Like, I don't understand why you're a bad guy now. Let's talk about TLC after we're done talking about Survivor, Thomas.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I just mean instead of getting into it right now.
I was trying to remember if it had already... I was like, did it already happen? And I didn't watch it, but no.
No, it's tonight. It's going to be a good one. Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. Man, what a great match that's going to be. Baron Corbin, he's a guy.
Sure is.
Elias and Bobby Lashley are going to have a ladder match for a guitar.
That's exciting.
So watch WWE. It's a good time.
We all love it.
We all love it. It's good. Thomas, I think it's about time we do this bottle check.
All right. I'm excited. You seemed excited to tell me what you were drinking.
This is the wildest one I've gotten yet.
Oh, boy.
Ready?
All right.
Hear that can opening? Okay,
That's music to my ears right there.
let me read you the tagline on the top of the can first. Get you some of that.
Oh, boy. We're off to a great start.
I'll let you know, as soon as I opened the can, I felt like I had to take a shit, so that's probably not a good sign.
That's how you know it's working.
It's the tropical flavor. There's 3 flavors: original, tropical, and light.
Extra crispy.
And extra crispy. You have to eat the can for that one.
Delicious.
It's called Gas Monkey.
Oh, boy. Why just based on the name alone, did you buy that?
The name and also the logo. It's a monkey's face. He has a long, pointy green tongue and green eyes, and he looks angry. I think this might just be gasoline.
That sounds like something I want to drink.
My new tropical energy drink is turbocharged with mango, passion fruit, pineapple, lemon, and honey, but only drink it on days that end in Y.
Good one.
And then that is in quotes, and it looks like it was said by the gas monkey himself.
The gas monkey?
The one and only. Let's give this boy a sip. Hey, it's actually pretty okay.
What does it taste like?
I mean, it tastes like mango and pineapple and passion fruit, and I don't taste the honey. I guess there's a little lemon in there. I think it would be better on like a summer morning than a winter afternoon, but I was expecting something much worse. Let's see what it's got in it. 27 carbs, 26 of those are from sugar, 250% B6, 100% B12. Actually, this is not bad. Ooh, the can is 2 servings, but guess what? I'm going to drink the whole thing, because I don't know portion control. Hey, why do people listen to this podcast?
They purposely make it have more servings than it should per can to make it seem like it's not as bad for you. They know you're going to drink the whole can.
Yeah, they know me. They know my brand. My brand is Gas Monkey.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Okay, so we start off at camp. Christian recognizes after the last tribal council that he is indeed a target. Nick wants to find the new idol and creates a fake one to get people to stop looking for the new one. Smart move. He, Angelina, Mike, and Christian are hanging out on the raft, and then Nick looks down and sees the fake idol. And is like, whoa, guys, look, an idol. That was a stupid move.
Yep.
He had a good idea, and then he ruined it immediately.
Very unfortunate.
So
that level of self-sabotage.
Yeah, he now believes sabotage. How does that song go?
That's another
Beastie Boys song.
Listen, all y'all, it's a sabotage.
It's a sabotage. Yeah, I know. I know all the Beastie Boys songs, Thomas. You don't have to ask me.
You asked me how it went.
Yeah, because it was a test, and you passed.
Oh, that's good.
He believes now that no one will go looking for the new idol, but Davy's got him figured out. He tells Christian that Nick's got 2 idols now. Then on the reward challenge, they get to take a helicopter to a restaurant, and guess what? They can have whatever they want off the menu.
Yep.
That was something that Jeff said. And
Crazy.
also they have a TV there, which means that you can watch the first 10 minutes of Survivor.
I mean, conceivably.
Well, attached to a rope, they go through some obstacles and then throw some sandbags at some blocks. It's a great challenge. Davey wins and brings Nick along on the reward, since Nick brought him on the loved one's reward. Angelina points out that they both brought him on that reward. And then Jeff, being a very good host, asks if anyone wants to plead their case to come along. knowing that Angelina's going to bite at that. And she does.
Couldn't help herself.
Citing she won rice for the tribe. Man,
I was shocked this didn't work.
I know. I also don't understand why that was her move instead of being like, hey, I was also on the winning team that brought you along on the Loved Ones Challenge. Remember that? That would have been a much better move and probably
Yeah, she
more
mentioned
successful.
that to... Didn't she say something like, oh, I was also on that team, but it wasn't, like, to him?
She said it kind of under her breath, but, like,
Yeah, it's
it
like, why
seemed
would that
loud
not
enough
be
that
what you would
everyone
lead
could hear
with?
her. I don't know. I do not understand her strategy ever. Actually, I want to believe X-Files. I want to believe that she recognizes what a nuisance she is, and she is playing into that to make it to Final Tribal. Which, if that's what she's doing, that's a really good strategy, and
Yep.
it seems to be working thus far. Davey then brings Kara. Angelina says that this was potentially $1 million mistake, and says that Davey is playing the field. Okie dokie. So back at camp, Angelina is mad. She says she expects no reciprocity for the rice thing, but also, like, she totally does.
But also, like, yes. And everyone was very sympathetic, you could tell.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was, but somebody said, let's make revenge rice. That's good.
Might have been Allison.
I think it was probably Allison, because she...
I think she... Not even that, she was like, let's just make some rice right now. And I think Angelina's the one that referred to it as revenge rice.
Revenge rice. That would have been a good episode title, Jeff.
It would have.
Whatever. You know, Heroes vs. Villains 2, when I'm the executive producer and Jeff is relegated to just the host and supervising producer or whatever other credit he gets, every single episode title is going to be a good one, and every single one is going to come from a quote from a contestant. That is my guarantee. Hashtag make me executive producer on Survivor Heroes vs. Villains 2. Okay. At the reward, Davey plans to turn on Nick and tells Kara that he says, treat him well, then slit their throat. I love Davey. Davey is good. I like that. He also tells Kara not to tell Angelina and Mike. Back at camp, Kara tells Allison the new plan and tells her not to tell Angelina and Mike. Then Allison immediately tells Mike. It's good. I like it. Allison and Mike are really this generation's Christian and Gabby, I think.
Sort of.
Wouldn't you agree? Because they're friends.
A little bit.
Because they're friends and they love each other and they're side by side. Who's going to turn on the other? Let's get a point for that. Allison or Mike? Just kidding. They're both making it to the end. They're both going to win. They're both going to win, Thomas.
Yeah, and I was agreeing with you by not saying anything.
Yeah. Davey goes looking for an idol and finds a clue, which sends him to a game where he gets an idol, but that must be played at that tribal council, or he can gamble his vote and use it at the next one. I like when they're forced to do something like this. Just finding an idol is boring. Gambling it, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's fun. There have been so many idols this year, you might as well have them do something interesting with it.
There have been a lot, but it's still fewer than previous seasons, I think.
Is it? It feels like there's been a ton.
I'm gonna try to Google it. I tried to do this last week and it didn't work out. Number of idols played in each season of Survivor. There's got to be a list somewhere. Hidden immunity idol. This is survivor.fandom.com/wiki/hidden immunity idol. You know who the first hidden immunity idol holder was?
Who's that?
Gary Hawkins.
Gary
Guatemala.
Hoogaboom.
Yes, sir.
I mean, shh. Sorry, I didn't mean to blow up his spot.
Why is there not just a list on here? I'm so annoyed with... There's like a list of... Okay, here we go. Let's go. Scrolling all the way down to modern seasons. There's been so many fucking seasons. Oh yeah. There was a fuck ton in Triple H. Okay, so this season so far, Davey's got one, Nick had one, Christian, Dan, Davey, 5, 6. There have been 6 so far. Last season, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Triple H had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's way too many.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Game Changers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is fine. Although that was in it was Game Changers, which was not a good season. Millennials versus Gen X 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 I think 5 is a fine amount. 1, 2, 3. Oh wow. Ko Wrong only had 3. Maybe that's why Ko Wrong was so fucking good. Because it wasn't reliant on idols. Well, that's called Wikipedia, everybody's favorite segment. So Davey goes through every option in a really fun montage and decides that it is not worth risking his vote. This was the right move, I think.
Yep.
Why not? What?
I said yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know. I know that there are people who have played this game who would be like, "Oh, this could be more powerful later." No, if you've got a guarantee, use it.
Yeah.
Have we ever done Rasheed Wallace on Survivor?
No, I don't know if he's the type of person that would actually want to do that.
Well, that doesn't matter. He's a public figure. It doesn't matter what he wants. It's what I want as the fan.
We have to make him do it.
Do it, Rasheed. We couldn't get Sharif because the hashtag was just too confusing.
Also, I think he's working. He's got like an NBA front office job or something.
Oh, good for him. Okay, then we get into the immunity challenge. They have to balance some balls on a disc, and yes, somebody did edit the challenge, so it's just Jeff saying balls a lot, and it's appropriately funny, which is to say very. It comes down to Mike and Allison. You might recall last week I picked Allison to win. Thomas originally picked Mike, but then changed his mind and said Davey. And then Mike ended up winning. So you feel pretty good about that, huh?
Scrambled egg all over my face.
Mm-hmm. Jackets and Eggs, remember that episode? That was a while ago.
Sure do.
It's been a good season. Back at camp, Nick decides he wants to target Allison again. He tells Kara and Angelina and Mike, but Mike still wants to take out Christian. Nick tells Davey that the idol he found is fake. Again, why?
There's no reason.
I don't know. I don't.
I mean, I guess it stopped Davey from targeting him. So.
Yeah, I guess so. He does say that now that he's told him the truth, he doesn't want to take Nick out. Cool. Before leaving for Tribal, Mike tells Nick that Davey is targeting him. Mike, this is a good episode for Mike.
Yeah, he's playing a good game.
And then everyone says everyone's name, basically, before going to Tribal Council. And I went in, and I said, I don't know what's about to happen. So, it's a good episode, I'd say.
Yeah.
And Thomas, do you want to get into the wildlife shots?
Boy, do I.
So we got your favorite animal, the dolphin. Got a fish. Well, not a fish, there were several fish. A single snake. And a ready-to-mingle snake, huh?
Oh!
So we also got a bird. It dove into the water to catch some fish. Apparently there are only like 3 birds on the whole of Fiji. The one this week kind of looked like a sandhill crane. I don't think it was, because everything I looked up said it's generally in America, but hey, birds can fly anywhere they want, you know? Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. And birds love
Yeah, it's
to
a
fly.
free country, ain't it?
It is. They have a distinct call because they have very long windpipes.
Distinct hog.
Cool. Courtine cranes stretch their wings, pump their heads, bow, and leap into the air in a graceful and energetic dance.
Ooh.
Birds are so good. They generally begin mating around age 7 and will mate with the same bird for life, which can be upwards of 20 years. They can leave the nest within 8 hours of hatching, which is not a long time. The oldest of these birds on record was 36 years and 7 months old. That's the age of a human.
This is true.
Okay, let's get into this tribal council now. Nick says that everyone is going 100 miles an hour. Angelina says you can't trust anyone. So she's seen Jimkata. So you can't trust anyone, but you can't get to the end without leaning on others. Man, I think Angelina is a smart person. I just don't think she's socially the most adept person. Which is unfortunate. Maybe she'll come back for a future season and blow us all away with how much she's improved. Allison calls the game fluid and says once you've been identified as a threat, it's hard to stay off people's hit lists. Which I thought, seeing the vote, some good bookending. If you remember the beginning of the episode, Christian saying he's a threat.
Yes.
And then at the end, it's hard to keep off people's hit lists. Christian says he's received 15 votes, and that's plenty. He says, no more, please. And everybody kind of chuckles.
15 death threats.
Ooh.
From me.
Oh, boy.
Now, whatever.
He's going to win now. So they vote. Davey plays the idol that can only be played at this tribal. Nick gives Jeff his fake idol, and then says it's the fake one, and that he just wanted to get a read on everyone. And Angelina says she doesn't think he needs to play it. But then he does. And then he doesn't get any votes.
Yep.
Davey gets 2 votes, Allison gets 2 votes, and Christian gets 3 votes, so he's out. This is like at least the 3rd time, I think, that Angelina has had a good instinct that people just ignore, and then it turns out she is right. Angelina is the best player on this season, and she's going to win the whole game.
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
Like, you say that now, but
she's definitely going to win.
she's going to. That's a guarantee. That's a guaranteed. Angelina will win this season. You know how I know?
How's that?
I'm always right. You know what I mean? Because at the merge, I picked Angelina. She made it to the final. Who did you pick at the merge, Thomas? Oh, was it John Morrison, the person who
didn't both of your people that you picked pre-merge get eliminated?
Yeah, but also like that was pre-merge, and that doesn't count. So
okay.
The reward, I said spa day, didn't happen. You said steak, I believe. Jeff.
There was a second there when he was like the beach club rotor. I was like, ooh, they're getting the spa day. I'm gonna be real mad.
He did say at one point surf and turf, which I believe means steak, and
steak
also,
is involved.
Steak is involved, but is the steak authority? That's the real question. So you got a point for the steak. The reward challenge recipient, you got a point because he said Nick would go on the reward. That's fine. Angelina didn't go on the reward, which I expected.
She tried real hard, too.
She tried real hard, and I was really gunning for her. But here's what the points that really matter. We both predicted Christian would be ousted, and he was.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we both predicted that.
So I doing real good. I've got 28 points now. And Thomas, you're doing pretty good too. You've got 31 points.
Oh, sure. That seems good.
But that doesn't matter because we're going into the finale, which, as we all know, means anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
I don't know how many reward challenges there will be. Probably 3, maybe 2, maybe 4. I don't know. Anyway, what do you think will show up at any of these reward challenges? And this does not include the final 3 feast. Just a reminder.
Boy, I'm gonna say spa day now.
I'm going to say they're going to bring some stuff to some school children. Or they go to a bar with their friend Jeff Probst and watch the first 10 minutes of the season. Who will go on this reward? Or any of the rewards? Get a point for each one.
I am going to say that Mike is going to go on this reward.
I'm going to say Allison. Who will win any of the final immunity challenges? Unfortunately, you can't pick Michelle because she is not on this season, but if she were, she would win.
There's going to be, 2 immunity challenges left?
3. There will be the final 6,
3?
final 5, and then the final 4, which will lead into the final 4 fire challenge. Which Allison will win. I
think Allison will win.
I'm right.
Yeah, I think Allison will win 1.
Has Angelina won immunity yet?
I don't know. That's a
I don't
good
think
question.
she has. Let me pull up the cast list. Let's see who all is left. Okay, Allison, Dan, Alec, Christian, Davey, Kara, Mike. Those are all the people who have won immunity post-merge. Who's left? Kara, Angelina, Allison, Davey, Mike, and Nick. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna say Angelina wins. It's a redemption story for Angelina Keeney, whatever her last name is. Angelina Kimi, she makes really good eggs.
Yeah.
That was immunity, right? Okay, Thomas, we know the fire challenge is coming. We got to pick who's going to win the fire challenge. And remember, you can't pick Allison. It's in the rules.
I'm trying to think of who the final 4 is going to be.
I'll run through the people again. Kara, Angelina, Allison, Davey, Mike, and Nick.
I think Angelina and Nick are going to be the next 2 to go.
Wow,
So,
okay.
I am actually gonna say Allison beats.
No, you can't pick Allison.
Allison. I'm gonna say that Allison beats Mike.
No, Thomas, it's in the rules.
Go to the final
it's in the rules.
3.
You can't pick Allison. Okay, yeah, let's do it that way because that's gonna be even more interesting. I'm going to say Allison beats Davey to make it into the final 3.
I don't know, man. If you think Davey's not in the final 2, I don't know what to tell you. He's in the driver's seat for this season.
Yeah, he's the biggest threat yet, or left, I should say. How do we? I know I ask this every season, but how do we predict the vote outs in the finale? Do we just pick final 3?
I think we just pick final 3.
That seems right. Okay.
I think you get a point for each person that in the final 3 that you get right.
Are we doing it in order of how they will place, or just if they're there? Or one of each?
That's an interesting one. Let's say point if you predict the winner right.
Point for the winner. Okay. And then point for each person who is in the final three,
Yeah,
no matter where they place.
Point for each person in the final three, regardless of where they are.
Okay. Angelina's last name is Keeley, for the record.
Okay.
She was born a year before us, maybe 2 years. She's 28 years old. Well, I want to say Angelina will win because I would love to see that. But I don't. I think she'll make the final three. I think she will take second place. I think.
Awfully bold of you to suggest she would finish in second.
Here's my final three. Third place, Mike White. Second place, Angelina.
Mike White absolutely has a better case than Angelina. Come on.
No, Mike White's Hollywood. He's got money.
Mike White has won. Mike White has played a much better social game than Angelina and has at least won an immunity challenge.
But I want to see Angelina take second. And Angelina will have won an immunity challenge by the end. Okay, fine. You've convinced me. Okay. Angelina takes third place. Oh, let's be logical about it and not whatever. Angelina in third, Mike White in second, Allison wins.
I like that it totally doesn't matter for the points either. I'm just being an asshole about this.
Well, you're succeeding. All right. Who are your final three, Thomas?
My final three is going to be Davey number 1, Kara number 2, and actually no, Davey, Allison, Kara.
Davey, Allison second, Kara third. Okay.
I think Kara's played a really good game, but I think Allison's had a little bit more adversity, and she's been a little bit better in challenges.
Sure. I think Davey is taking fourth because it will continue the tradition of the best player in the game of the season takes fourth place.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jake, that you're prejudiced against blurs and you don't think that they can win.
I'm not racist, but I do hate blurs. I also hate words, and that's not white nerds, that's just words in general, like in the dictionary, because I don't know how to read. Okay. I think that's the last thing we predict for the finale, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know what we would
last.
Does Jeff bring back the jet ski? That is the next prediction.
So that's it. Going into the finale, what's his name? Christian's out. He had the best rating, or best record in the tribals. Allison's at a 50%. Kara's at a 56. Davey's got a 56. Angelina, 60%. That's a D-. That is passing, and I know that from my high school experience. Mike White got a 70%. Nick is the best yet left. 8 of 10 tribal councils he's been correct at. That is an 80%. That's some quick math there. On the Ponderosa, it was Christian's Ponderosa. He got a whiteboard and taught a class on Survivor.
Nah, that sucks.
Yeah, I hated it. My eyes glossed over while I was watching this YouTube video. Whatever. He's gone. Don't have to see him in the final. Oh, what do you think his speech is going to be like? Probably something obnoxious, right?
Well, the thing, I mean, is he going to have one? Because they're not doing that, remember?
Well, no, but it's not like a... Each person still comes up and asks a question and does a speech and all that. They're just like...
Not really. There's, like, the jury asked stuff, like, collectively. There were, jury stuff that people didn't talk in for the last couple seasons. Like, there were people that basically didn't get to ask anything.
I'm pretty sure everybody still has a moment to come up and say their piece.
No, they don't.
I'll have to rewatch the Ghost
That's
Island.
not at all how this works anymore.
That doesn't seem right.
That's why I hate this format.
Yeah, well, you can thank Scott and Jason for that.
The thing that kills me is, like, I was talking about that, like, it's even more likely now with the way that they do it that someone is just going to completely like, whoever takes charge leading the jury, basically, is way more influential than Scott and Jason were.
The jury also, like, the final tribal council generally has no influence on people's vote. Like, everybody knows who they're voting for going in, for the most part. Unless somebody, like, breaks a bombshell, like, my wife is pregnant, or my mom is dying of cancer, and I was going to play Blood versus Water with her, but then we didn't. Like, then, it's a unanimous vote. But for the most part, I think people go in being like, I'm going to vote for Angelina. She played the best social game. She won Rice for the tribe. She's the best person on this season. So, can't wait to see Angelina on the All-Winners season. That will be season 40. Angelina's the best person to ever play the game of Survivor, and that includes Sandra.
Wow.
Just saying.
Big words.
Just saying. She's surpassed Sandra Diaz-Twine in her single season, whereas it took Sandra 2 whole seasons, which she had to win to be a legendary player.
Yeah.
She
had to stay around in Game Changers for an insanely long amount of time, considering that she had won twice.
Right? I mean, her strategy was working.
She's the best player of all time.
I mean, yeah, but, like, did she ever win Rice for the tribe?
No, she did eat some sugar one time to make someone think that someone else had done it. That was pretty cool.
That was very good. Sandra was very good. Somebody posted on the Survivor Reddit yesterday, like, a bracket of the best winners of all time. I was like, there's only one person who's ever won 2 games.
Yeah.
So,
and she did it, like, pretty dominantly. Like, the first time around, didn't she, like, basically wasn't in an alliance and still managed to win?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched Pearl Islands in 15 years. Although I was thinking maybe next summer we should watch Pearl Islands because it is, like, a legendary season.
I was talking to a couple people that also enjoy Survivor quite a bit, and they were saying that we should watch the Heroes versus Villains season.
I mean,
where she absolutely embarrasses Russell.
Yeah, definitely. I think you should see some older seasons for the context. Although, I guess when I first watched Heroes vs. Villains 2, I wasn't super familiar with every season either. So we could definitely watch that. And I think... Well, we've got like 6 months to decide what to do. But yeah, I think Heroes vs. Villains or Pearl Islands should be our next rewatch for the summer. I hear you typing, so I assume that you didn't hear what I said, but that's fine.
No, I was listening.
Okay. Speaking of Heroes versus Villains, season 40 is coming up, and Jeff Probst has given no indication that it'll be Heroes versus Villains 2. We need to change that, so...
Make it Heroes versus Villains 2.
Send him tweets with the hashtag HVV2 on Twitter and his email, which is jeffprobst@cbs.com. I'm sure. It probably is something that simple, right? jeffprobst@hotmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at DYWSLN. That's the initials of the game. The podcast.
It is the game. You don't want to play it.
Triple H. Do you think Triple H will show up on TLC tonight?
Probably not.
Yeah, I hope not. Triple H is the word.
Because I think they're setting up him and Batista is going to be the thing.
For WrestleMania.
For WrestleMania, and I think they'll probably set that up with Batista eliminating him in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, man, the Rumble's going to be weird this year. Whatever. Well, let's finish this episode, and then we can talk about how disappointed I am in the company that is World Wrestling Entertainment. You can follow me on Twitter. Jake Scheidel is my name.
I'm at TomNotTom.
My favorite thing is when you are not paying attention, and then just like, oh wait, that's my turn.
Oh, let's talk.
Oh, me. TomNotTom is his name, legally. Middle name is not. Okay.
Middle name is middle name.
Yeah. That's first last middle name.
The greatest. I'm sorry, do you mean first last, the greatest basketball coach of all time?
I do indeed. Speaking of wrestling, I might download 2K19 and make a first last wrestler.
Oh, hell yeah. He'd have to be a manager, though.
Why? Oh, just
Because First Lass was a coach.
Right. But, like, Michael Jordan played baseball after basketball, so who's to say? Big E used to play football. Now he's a wrestler. I'm thinking middle-aged, skinny, white
Neither of those people used to coach football. Or whatever they were doing.
Yeah, no, Michael Jordan coaches football now. And he's actually going to be in the Royal Rumble. It was like Shaq did it. It's my turn now. Review us on Apple Podcasts. We only have one episode left this season, and you guys, we have not become a Goliath podcast yet. So Serial is not even in season right now, and it's still more popular than us.
Unacceptable.
So spread it to all your friends. Tell them to spread it to all their friends until Sarah Koenig bows down to us as the greatest Survivor podcast in existence.
They need to recognize us as a Goliath podcast.
Sarah Koenig has never even mentioned Survivor on Serial. Like, how can you call yourself a Survivor podcast when you don't even talk about Survivor?
How do you call yourself a journalist?
How can you call yourself a journalist when you don't even talk about Jeff Probst and his Jeff ski? Okay, have a great summer.
Yeah, deuces.
I used to think that I should watch TV. I used to think that it was good for me. Wanted to know what folks were thinking, to understand the land I live in. And I would lose myself and it would set me free.
I love wrestling